So this month, I learned something about myself. I learned, when I'm sleep deprived, I like to engage in some good old retail therapy. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I'm Andrew. Today I have got a book haul for you. So, we're gonna just jump right on into this thing, because, frankly, it's an unacceptable haul. It's a lot of books, and yeah, when you got a newborn who doesn't let you sleep, and then, at 3 a.m., you're just feeling a little bit crummy, and you think, man, what will give me that nice little shot of serotonin? I know, I'm gonna buy some books. So we're gonna start with all of the digital purchases, because yes, they count. And starting right off, we've got a fantasy western, The Last Stand of Mary Goodcrow by Rachel Aaron. Look at this cover. I saw it on Twitter a few months ago. And yeah, I absolutely fell in love with the art style. And then I went ahead and read Of Honey and Wildfire by Sarah Korn, which is an absolutely fantastic fantasy western, which made me kind of go like, oh, I need to find more of this. So I went ahead and snagged this based off of reading something by a different author, but in the kind of same vein. So I went ahead and picked that one up. I then picked up The Copper Assassin by Madeline Rogers. And hey, look at this cover. It's got like just all in this great armor with this big old battle axe. And it's just like, oh dude, like it's just giving off those awesome vibes. It's something about a newly formed empire with wyverns. I don't remember the full details, but you should definitely check it out, because from what I remember of the detailed description, it was not only a cover buy, but like I read that detailed description and was like, oh yes please. Alright, and then speaking of Sarah Korn, I went and got The Song of Sephet Book 2, which is the sequel to Of Honey and Wildfires, and that's Oh That Shotgun Sky. And guys, I can't wait to read this by Sarah Korn, because I loved Of Honey and Wildfires so incredibly much. I then went and picked up The Bladed Faith by David Dalglish. I know The Keepers didn't quite work for me. If you remember, I did an unhaul video where I got rid of those books, but I want to give this author another go because I've heard some good buzz about The Bladed Faith. I then went and picked up the fantastically underwhelming epic of a dead wizard and an average bard by Kian Ardelin. And I was watching this interview over on the Library of Alexandria's channel between Tiago Abdallah and Kevin Kemp. And Kevin Kemp had talking about his narrating process. I listened to a snippet of him doing a narration, and then he mentioned this book and said he had so much fun narrating it that I just had to go out and get it. And then by the time you're watching this, it's on my MBR, so I've probably already read it. I also went ahead and picked up The Ashen Hand of a Kasim, the Book of 12, Book 2, by Alex Robbins. And then I also went and got Book 3 because they were on sale because of the release of Book 4, which is The Burning Tears of Morlock. These are just really awesome covers. It's kind of like a very consistent style of cover. And I've been hearing good things about this author, so I decided to pick that up. And then when I dropped my blue and black cover video, I had an author reach out to me in the comment section, Glenn Dahlgren, where he's like, hey, I've got the Game of War, and it's got a blue and black cover, and I think it'd be something that's right up your alley. I actually also narrated the audiobook myself, and I was like, oh, cool, let me go ahead and give that a shot. So he kindly provided me with a free copy of the audiobook. So I'm super excited to listen to that. I'm hoping to get that done before you guys even see this video. So I've got that one as well. I then was provided with some review copies. Marota by L.L. McCree. I am currently reading this one. It is absolutely fantastic. L.L. McCree is probably one of my new favorite authors. I was also provided the full collection of the Ren War sagas by M.L. Spencer. I read the Chains of Chaos. I almost mixed up the two titles. And it was a sequel series, and I absolutely loved it. And then I pinged her. I was like, quick question. I was reading the description of Ren War because I was going to buy it. Did this become before? She was like, yeah, it did. I was like, oh no! It's one of my own faux pas. I don't usually do that. And so she's like, here, don't worry about it. Here you go. And I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. So yes, I now have that as well because I love M.L. Spencer. And then I was also provided a free ebook copy of Anthracite by Matt Thomas. I like this kind of pixelated cover, so I just figured, why not? So the author kindly provided that to me as well. Now let's start talking about physical books because, frankly, I've got two giant sacks here and it's unacceptable. Alright, so let's start with the mass market paperbacks. So, of course, I've already got ebook copies of the Hyperion Cantos, but I decided to pick up Endymion and the Rise of Endymion on mass market paperback on a trip to my local half-price books because, I mean, frankly, guys, like, look at these covers. It's got the Shrike on a raft, and then this one. This one, I fell in love with this cover immediately. That is so awesome. So I decided, because I already had The Fall of Hyperion in mass market paperback, I don't have Hyperion in mass market paperback. I've got it in a weird, different trade paperback with way worse cover art, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. If I find it, I'll pick it up. And then I also snagged, I believe this is number 9 in the Drenai Saga in publication order. So that is Hero in the Shadows. I have no idea when I'm going to get to it, but when I do get to it, you can bet you I am going to thoroughly enjoy it. I then got The Maleficent 7 by Cameron Johnston. This is put up by Angry Robot. So far I haven't yet to read an Angry Robot book that I didn't really enjoy, so they're very good at finding good authors. This is also a take on a 7 samurai tale, where kind of like you got a group of people that fall into disgrace or break apart, and then they come back together to go fight something. I kind of love that style of tale, so yes, we have got The Maleficent 7. Fun fact, I already bought that book before from Amazon. They lost my order, and then I just told them to refund the money. And I found that in the local half-price books, and so I decided to snag it. Alright, if I don't cause this to collapse, which is entirely possible, I was gifted this by somebody in my Discord. And if you don't know, I include my Amazon wishlist in the description box down below. So if you do feel inclined, you can send me something to support the channel. It's always very appreciated. This individual said they loved my content, and to keep up the good work, they provided me with a copy of the new hardback release of Michael Moorcock's Elric of Melibene. I'm thoroughly looking forward to that because it's kind of like the anti-Tolkien style take where, like, he's not your typical hero. And so I'm super excited for it. And then he also provided me with Heaven's River. I've kept the slips there. I'm going to keep their name private because I don't know how they feel about me saying their name on camera. So thank you so much. You know who you are. This is by Dennis C. Taylor, and it's the 4th book in the Bobaverse. So I thoroughly appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. It always means the world to me when you guys send me stuff. All right. Oh, books on books on books on books. Now, I talk fairly regular with Stephen Aryan. He's one of my new favorite authors, just based off of reading The Coward. I absolutely love that. And we were talking about authors who are in the same vein as David Gemmell, and he mentioned James Barclay. Well, in my last book haul, I got The Chronicles of the Raven, and this is the sequel series. And this is Legends of the Raven. I've got them backwards, but these are some of the coolest cover art. We've got Elf Sorrow here, and this is much cooler than the cover art from the last series. Those are just weapons on cover, but this one I think is my favorite. I mean, it's just so epic. Look at that. And then we've got Demon Storm for book 3. Just some really cool covers coming from Pier, which usually I don't buy those. And then this one was sent to me by the author to kind of just as a gift and to help them check the formatting. This is Prelude to Ashes by Tiago Abdallah. This is kind of the point 5 of the series of Ashes of Averin, and he sent this to me because it takes them forever to ship to Brazil. And so he just said, hey, if I send this to you, can you send me some pictures, check the formatting, make sure everything looks good? And I said, absolutely. I provided my feedback, and now I have got this awesome copy of Prelude to Ashes. The cover was done by the author himself. I've read this one, and I absolutely loved it. It's a great starting point to the series, if that's where you want to start, because it's super short. All right, and then we've got some more David Gemmell, because again, I am trying to collect the man's work, his entire bibliography. So we've got David Gemmell's The Knights of Dark Renown in this nice B-trade paperback edition put out by UK Orbit. I love these. They're kind of hard to find here in the US, but you can see that there's a whole collection of them. I've already got a couple that I hauled last time, but I wanted to make sure I got this one because it looked like the stock was kind of running low. Whether or not that's true, we'll find out. Alright, and this one I can kind of lay at the feet of Mike and the brothers Gwyn. And this is Robert E. Howard's The Coming of Conan the Cimmerian. I can't pronounce this. Cimmerian? Let me know in the comments down below how badly I butchered that name. But this is very classic sword and sorcery. I really like old school style of fantasy, especially sword and sorcery, heroic fantasy. Kind of my my four main things are self-pub, epic, heroic, and sword and sorcery. So I'm very much looking forward to trying Robert E. Howard's Conan, and there are another 2 collections of this. They're on my Amazon wish list. I'll get them when I get them, and then I will haul them for you guys. And then this one, I recently read The 1,000 Names by Django Wexler, and a member in the Discord likes to post stuff that he's found in charity shops and thrift stores in the buy-sell trade of the Whistler Duo Discord, which you can find the link in the description down below. And so he had posted this, and this is a YA book, because it says Torteen, and I'm finding that a lot of the times if it's got like a young female protagonist, it just gets shunted into YA. It doesn't necessarily mean it might be YA, and I know this has happened to like Joe Abercrombie, Jay Kristoff. I'm hoping it's the same deal with Django Wexler, because I'm really loving the cover of the Ships of Smoke and Steel, and I'd like to give this one a try. It looks super short, and I snagged it signed. So, fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Continuing the YA trend, this is the only other YA book I think I've got. I read this one last year, and this is Weavers by John Walker. You can actually check up in the cards. I did an interview with John Walker with Nico last year, and yes, Weavers is basically a kind of high school YA thing, but it doesn't take place in like the high school setting. They're just high school age. And it's got kind of like elemental power. It's kind of like Avatar. I really enjoyed this. I believe I gave it a 3.75 out of 5 last year. And I was really looking forward to the sequel, which I believe is getting ready to come out. So thank you, John. I appreciate you sending this to me. All right, and a little unusual for the channel, I have got historical fiction, The Ill-Made Knight by Christian Cameron, supposedly one of the masters of historical fiction. This one is also a Brothers Gwyn buy. I believe they were talking about Christian Cameron and how great his writing style is, and so I've been feeling that little itch for historical fiction. Like, I've already got the Kingsbridge by Ken Follett upstairs, and so I was like, you know what, the Chivalry series sounds interesting, and I just couldn't say no to that cover. So yes, we've got that one. Alright, I bought Mages and Masters book 1 and 2, I think like 2 or 3 months ago, and I haven't completed the series until now. So we've now got Bright Steel by Miles Cameron. Now, I know most people will know Miles Cameron by his Red Knight trilogy, or I guess, no, that's not a trilogy. That's like 5 books, I think. People are very hit or miss on that, so I figured this would be a better place to start with Miles Cameron. See if his writing works for me. And it's blue, black, and white, and I believe the whole trilogy is in this color scheme, so you know I'm a sucker for it. All right. Now, earlier I mentioned Stephen Aryan. I have been buying up all of his books, and I now have Magebane, which is the 3rd book in the Age of Dread. I've just been hunting for his books because I really enjoy Stephen as a person. He runs a great YouTube channel on writing where he offers all sorts of advice. And I loved The Coward so much that I immediately went out and bought the entire man's bibliography. I did a full gush review on that book, which I will link up in the cards if you want to check that out. Alright, and then we've got some manga for you guys. We have got Vinland Saga Volumes 1 and Volume 2. This is historical fiction, Viking-style manga. I'm going to be doing a collab with Maza from Maza Booktuber, where we read all 12 of these gorgeous volumes. I am slowly going to be collecting these because they are rather expensive. I think they're like $18 a piece, but you get these gorgeous, handsome hardcovers. I've already read the first one, and by the time this comes out, I'll have probably read the second as well. We're going to do live shows based on kind of like arcs. I think each arc is like 4 of these volumes long. So yeah, you can look forward to that coming as well. And then surprising nobody, because everybody's got them, we've got The Last Argument of Kings, the Broken Binding hardcover edition. These are very beautiful. I'm sure you've seen them around on BookTube. Very gorgeous naked hardcovers. I'm not going to harp on it because there's been probably 1,000 videos based on these. So moving on, I received a review copy, At the Threshold of the Universe by T.A. Bruno. I have read books 1 and 2 in this trilogy. Guys, this is amazing. It is some of the best space opera style stuff I have read ever. I have given both books 1 and book 2 5 stars. I finished the second book yesterday on audio. I read the first book physically, and the second book I did audio. And CJ is an amazing narrator. And I cannot wait for the conclusion of this story. It is epic. It is heartrending. It is action-packed. It is so cool. It's got a little bit of a fantastical element to it. It's also got some of those hard sci-fi themes, but it's presented to you in a space opera package. And it is amazing. All right. We've only got 7 more books. 7 more books? 7 more books left. And they're all Stephen King. Again, I have been on a Stephen King kick. I have been building a collection of Stephen King books. It's not here on these shelves. It's upstairs in the bedroom. But what are you going to do? So my friend, the Bookish Drummer, says that I should pick up Stephen King's Revival. So I did. I have no idea when I'm going to get to all of this King, but eventually I will. I also got this cover of The Institute. And I'm not going to lie, I've heard mixed things about it, but this cover is so beautiful with this kind of pop of green. I don't even care. I don't even care with the yellow, the green, and the orange, and the black. Oh, I love this cover. It is beautiful. It's stunning. And in the back of a train, I like that. I then went and picked up The Regulators and Desperation. And one of the cool things I didn't know about this until, I saw it on a shelf in, half-price books, is I didn't know that the art went together like that, and I think that's super awesome. One of the things that is bugging me is this says Stephen King, and this says Richard Bachman, and I think they've updated them both to say Stephen King, but I don't really care all that much, because they're both King, and they still go together really handsomely. So yeah, I went ahead and snagged those as well. And then I got the Bill Hodges trilogy, guys. And that's because I bought The Outsider and hauled that either a month ago or 2 months ago. And apparently that book spoils this trilogy. And so I wanted to make sure that I had these to read these first. And that is Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King, Finders Keepers by Stephen King, and End of Watch by Stephen King. Now, guys, that is my sleep deprivation book haul. And that's what we're going to call this. Please let me know in the comments down below what you thought of some of these titles. Have I gone too far? Do I need to be stopped? Please feel free to stage an intervention. I'm begging you. That said, guys, like, comment, subscribe. You can hit that Patreon if you want to support what I do. And as always, till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.